Shanks and ELBAF. Hello, One Piece enthusiasts. I'm the One Piece nerd, and today let's talk about how and why Shanks is connected to ELBAF. Well, it's about time. Shanks, we got to see his moves and whatnot. And well, this time around, we got to know that he is somehow connected to ELBAF. And the theories go way back. Theories have been connecting Shanks' relation with ELBAF and how he could be related to the Giants and whatnot. We're gonna get into all of that. Before we do, make sure to like and subscribe because it helps the channel a lot. Now that you have, let's begin. Well, so it all starts with theories that started popping up after Whole Cake Island. I remember Mr. Morge being the first one to bring up that idea. Then Joy Boy theories and some other people have also made connections with Shanks and ELBAF. And well, it specifically goes back to Norse mythology, where Shanks' ship is one from the Vikings, and the Vikings are somehow connected to the Giants because Loki and whatnot. I have very bad time with names and whatever, but I know it's from Norse mythology because Shanks' ship has something to do with the Vikings, and then we go back to ELBAF, and we have characters like Loki, and I cannot remember his name for the life of me, but whatever. That's how it all originated. Now, well, yeah, it could be theory, and we know how much Oda likes to take his plot points from Norse mythology, Greek mythology, and also Christianity as a whole. He has references from literally everywhere. But specifically speaking, Norse and Greek mythology have played a very big role when it comes to serving the purpose, or when it comes to serving a lot of subplots in One Piece. And well, that's how people initially make the connections, and this time around, let's just get a little bit more into it. So Shanks said, he didn't necessarily say anything about how he ended up here, but he did say that time passes by when you're talking with a friend that you thought were dead for the last how many years. At first I thought it was gonna be Dorian Broggy, but it makes no sense to me now that I think about it. I am in fact very wrong. So it's not Dorian Broggy, because maybe Dorian Broggy, Shanks did meet them in Little Garden. Maybe, I don't even know, man, because Roger had explored every part of the Grand Line, and Little Garden is a very small part, but it's still sort of significant. We know how parallel Luffy and Roger's journeys were. To think that, Luffy came across Little Garden and we saw Dorian Broggy, it's entirely likely that Shanks saw them too, but that's not the case. Someone being alive after how many so years, it could definitely be Jaguar D-Saw, no one else. And this confirms my theory. Jaguar D-Saw was not in Egghead Island, of course. Not my theory, it's a very minor thing. It came up when Vegapunk started talking about a backup. It's not Saw. Saw is 100% on ELBAF, and Shanks is somehow friends with Saw, which also is sort of insane to think about, because Jaguar D-Saw worked for the Marines. He worked for the Marines, he is a D, he's a friend of Aokiji's, and is somehow related to ELBAF. Not somehow, he's a giant from ELBAF, and Shanks is friends with him. Now, isn't that a little too crazy? That sort of is, honestly, because considering Saw's relationship, and remember, if it is Jaguar D-Saw, Saw didn't know anything about the Void Century or whatever went on in Ohara until Olvia ended up being captured by the world government. That is when he started getting the idea of the entire propaganda with the world government. And well, this sparks off a lot of new questions about how Shanks was related to Jaguar D-Saw. How did they become friends? Where did they meet? And whatnot. Aside from this, I like to think that, ELBAF is probably Shanks' territory. Maybe the Giants don't need their protection, but it's not bad to have an Emperor guarding you. The same could be said for Amazon Lily. Amazon Lily technically isn't Luffy's territory, but Boa Hancock is friend with Luffy, so duh. And I think the same could be said for Alabasta, but that's beside the point. Point here is Shanks may be allied with the Giants, and he definitely has some sort of relation beyond the fact that he's friends with Jaguar D Saw. And this also confirms a few other theories regarding the last poneglyph. Remember, I know I'm gonna talk about this in my Kid and Shanks video in the future, but point is, the fourth poneglyph, or the last poneglyph at least Luffy needs, is definitely an ELBAF. And my theory about how everything connects to ELBAF and how if Blackbeard wins, which he probably will, he will go to ELBAF in search for the fourth poneglyph. The Luffy will be doing the same, not because to find the fourth poneglyph, but because of Vegapunk, but because of Jaguar D Saw. And Shanks is already there, and I'd like to think that Shanks definitely wins this fight. Unless Oda spins it otherwise, which is very hard to believe. Point is, everything pointing to ELBAF, and Shanks having a crucial connection there is sort of insane to think about, because it can unravel into a lot of mysteries. And ELBAF isn't even Shanks' home, because Oda said it. Shanks is from the West Blue in the manga. Shanks stated when he met Whitebeard that this is sake from my hometown, the West Blue. So there are lots of things going on here. I'll make an origin video of Shanks in the near future, but point of this is ELBAF is somehow connected to Shanks, and the connections here seem far more rooted than what it seems to be initially. And I also think that Big Mom will definitely show up. How they could be connected? Well, you could spin it in a lot of ways. Shanks spent a lot of time with Roger, and then Roger definitely explored a lot of different places. And remember, the fourth poneglyph has been moved. I would like to think if the fourth poneglyph is in ELBAF, Shanks is the one that did it, because it all points to Shanks sort of keeping the fourth poneglyph away from people that might use it for the wrong purpose, which, becoming the Pirate King and finding Laugh-Tale, and the wrong person finding Laugh-Tale. That's the issue here. Well, if Shanks did move it, he definitely had previous connections, and I'd like to think that before Roger passed away, Shanks definitely had some sort of a talk with Roger. Maybe not that young, but it definitely could happen. Shanks understood a lot more as a teenager than we think he ought to be. And with that just being said, the connection with ELBAF could come either from Roger or from himself, maybe somehow connecting to his origins. And this brings up a lot of questions which I'll be maybe answering within the next few weeks. Not few weeks, I would say next week maybe, because we got a break week and we don't have much to talk about. But that's it, honestly. I'd like to think it either comes for his origins, or somehow he's more deeply rooted, connected with the Giants than they think we are. And Big Mom, I'd like to think Big Mom will come into play very soon. But that's for another video. If you guys enjoyed, make sure to like and subscribe. Have a great day, and peace.